Good evening. This is the Change. And tonight we are going to talk about World War III. It's an awesome topic, isn't it? How about the draft? You want to talk about that? No, the draft will never happen. Nah, that's crazy talk. World War III, that's crazy. No, that'll never happen. Are you sure? Operation Atlantic Resolve. Ever heard of it? Nor have I until I did. And that's my job, is to raise your awareness on topics that don't get a lot of playtime, airtime, screen time, viewing time. Our commander-in-chief is in sad shape, is he not? But what he's going to do, he's going to walk us into World War III. World War III. World War III will not be like World War II. It will be an ugly, ugly war. Ugly. Drones, drone strikes. Ugh. And there will be a draft. There's not enough people joining the military. I mean, think about it. Nobody under the age of 20 even likes America because all the propaganda these days. Nobody wants to go fight so we can have pride parades. Nobody wants to go fight so we can have dudes in the girls' shower. Nobody wants to go fight so we can have dudes winning gold medals in women's Olympics. Nobody wants to fight for that. They've destroyed our country. They've destroyed what it means to be a patriot. They've destroyed what it means to stand up and put your hand over your heart and stand up tall for the national anthem. They've destroyed it. Professional athletes making millions, hundreds of millions of dollars a year are to blame. Women's national soccer team, they're to blame. Our media, they're to blame. Our politicians, they're to blame. Our president, I would blame him, but he's got dementia. It'd be like arguing with somebody at the nursing home of what flavor the tapioca pudding was. He's incoherent. He's going to sleepwalk us in to World War III. And that's where I'm going with this story tonight. From military.com, reservists set to deploy for Europe, NATO mission following new Biden order. It's from July 13th. President Joe Biden signed an executive order Thursday that will allow the Pentagon to tap into reserve forces for deployment to Europe as part of its long-standing NATO mission on the continent. According to a copy of the order released by the White House, it allows the military to use 3,000 reserve service members to augment its forces in Europe, which grew in reaction to Russia's invasion of Ukraine. The Pentagon said last year it increased the troop presence on the continent by about 20,000 troops as Russian President Vladimir Putin attempted to seize the country, bringing the total U.S. force in Europe to more than 100,000. Quote, it's unlocking additional forces for use in support of this operation. The Pentagon spokesman Brigadier General Pat Ryder told reporters on a phone call Thursday. Lieutenant General Douglas Sims, the Joint Staff Director for Operations, who also briefed reporters, said, quote, these authorities will enable the department to better support and sustain its enhanced presence and level of operations in Europe. Sims stressed that these are not additional forces. Okay. Over time, where we may have had someone from an active component organization doing something, that job now under these authorities may be something that a reserve component unit may be able to do, he said. There's just a bunch of blah, 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 blah. I can't even read it. Blah, 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 blah. Just a bunch of jumble jabble. This is the start of World War III. And we don't have enough troops. We don't have enough troops. We don't have enough ammunition. See, if we do have a draft, I won't be on the chopping block. I guarantee you that. I'm too old. You know who will be on the chopping block? All of the purple-haired people. All of the 2020 rioters, the Antifa members, the Stop Oil people that throw tomato soup on art, the people that run around naked during the pride parades, they'll be on the front lines if the draft is enacted. And the draft, if we go to war with Russia and China at the same time, we don't have the forces for that. Our military is a joke as it is. It won't be like World War II. I'm warning you now. It'll be an ugly, ugly war. I mean, all wars are ugly. But there will be drone strikes. Drones are already striking. They just struck Moscow like 2 days ago. They're continuing to elevate it. They're sending troops, more troops. And then they'll say they're not. And then they'll send more. And we continue to pay for this, pay for that, and act like we're not in a war. Chinese invading us through our southern border with CCP police forces in the United States, biotech labs carrying every virus known to man. And we're going after Donald Trump because he kept boxes from when he was president. I feel like our priorities are screwed up. Biden is going to walk us blindly, stumble his way into World War III. And people I care about will be drafted. People I care about will be on the draft line. They'll be on the front line in the draft. And I don't like it. First and foremost, the politicians' children should be on the front lines. And then people who voted for Biden should be right next to him. Because I knew this man would just march us to darkness. I knew it. This is from the post-millennial breaking. Biden calls up U.S. military reserve units to deploy to active duty in Europe in Operation Atlantic Resolve. Operation Atlantic Resolve is the official name of the unofficial operation supporting the war in Ukraine. A presidential action posted by the White House on Thursday revealed that the president, under his authority as commander-in-chief, is calling up U.S. military units to deploy to active duty in Europe under what is being called Operation Atlantic Resolve. Atlantic Resolve is the official operation supporting the war in Ukraine and was launched in response to Russia's invasion of Crimea in 2014. Atlantic Resolve has been funded under the European Deterrence Initiative and is intended thus far to strengthen NATO. The U.S. has military in Eastern Europe, but has not called on Americans to fight to defend Ukraine. Quote, I hereby determine that it is necessary to augment the active armed forces of the United States for the effective conduct of Operation Atlantic Resolve in and around the United States European Command's area of responsibility. Said Joe Biden. As such, he authorized the ordering of any active duty units of the Coast Guard to serve as a unit of the selected reserve. The selected reserve is the most readily available group of Army Reserve soldiers, according to the U.S. military. You see that? Authorized the ordering of any active duty units of the Coast Guard to serve as a unit of the selected reserve. That's step one. Okay? That's step one. There's about 5 steps till draft day. All members of the selected reserve can be mobilized in the event that an emergency arises, and they are called up to do so. Quote, in furtherance of this operation, Biden said, under the stated authority, I hereby authorize the Secretary of Defense and the Secretary of Homeland Security with respect to the Coast Guard when it is not operating as a service in the Navy under the respective jurisdictions to order to active duty any units and any individual members not assigned to a unit organized to serve as a unit of the selected reserve, or any member of the individual ready reserve mobilization category and designated as essential under regulations prescribed by the Secretary concerned, not to exceed 3,000 total members at any one time, of whom not more than 450 may be members of the individual ready reserve as they deem necessary, and to terminate the service of those units and members ordered to active duty. Yeah, I would love to have seen Joe Biden say that sentence or that paragraph there. Get ready. Get ready for World War III. And if you voted for Biden, have fun. Have fun with it. Because I've not supported this man 1 day, 1 minute, 1 second of my life. He was a jerk, and now he's just an old, dementia-ridden jerk. If you want to talk about it, comment. If you don't, don't. This has been the Change. And I am the unlearned teacher. Thank you.